like, how hard is it though to actually like stay on the straight on the straight path when you're coming out, and because you have got the pass of going in, like all of a sudden all your options are kind of closed off and you ain't really got much to go for? Like, is that a thing in it, or literally is it just the streets just dragged you back in?
No, you know what? You can't always blame the streets. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like you gotta have the know-how, it's the skills that you learn along the way. Do you know what I mean? You're not learning from the mistakes, then it's gonna keep being difficult because you're not even checking yourself, like looking in the mirror and being like, where am I going wrong here? Do you know what I mean? So once you start learning these skills and that you're picking up along the way, then you can use them in life and you can use them in situations that you come against, like, wait there, I've been there before. Should I go left? Should I go right? You start to make the choice to go the right way quicker. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
And yeah, I feel like that's what it is. You got to have these life skills. You got to have people, mentors that can, do you know what I mean, teach you this stuff so you don't go down that route.
Yeah. So
you know when you were going in prison and coming back out, because obviously I grew up in the same area as you and you're older than me, and I had my circle of friends who you know, and like your circle of friends. We look up to you when we saw you, like on the estate. We'd be like, oh, yeah, Stana Man. Where everyone looked up to you, and that reputation. When you went in prison and come back out, did you feel you had to live up to the reputation again to prove everyone?
Yeah, you do definitely. It's like obviously, I wouldn't say there was a big pressure because I felt like I was being tested or someone was saying, yo, you got to do this. I didn't feel like anyone was in my ear, but you know, it starts to come like natural. You feel like that's your role. Do you know what I mean? You start to feel like that is your actual role. Do you know what I mean? You get clouded up in oh, I'm that person, I'm important here, so I have to be here. I have to be doing this. I have to come out and I have to, do you know what I mean? And
in prison as well, you know, when you're going in, because obviously from the street you built up your reputation of obviously what you were doing on the roads and stuff, and you had a big name for yourself around East London. When you went into prison, did you have any trouble because of your name or because what you've done on the street?
No, not at all. So obviously, you know, it's a small world, isn't it? So your name it circulates, in it. But I feel like in prison, like I didn't get into any issues over where I was from or anything I'd actually done in the past or nothing. And then I get into no gang activities with anything like that personal. It's more stuff that just goes on in prison. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So prison is a small place. There's people from everywhere. Not everyone is going to know what this guy done in East London, or do you know what I mean? But you start to meet people through the system. The amount of times I kept going in and out. So it was like, it's more like I was creating a new reputation in prison. Does that make sense? So you're two different. It's not that you're two different people, but you're in the prison world and road is two different places. So it's like I was going through that whole system. Like, do you know what I mean? So it was fresh. They might not have known nothing about me on the outside. Time.
I want to. Go on.
I was going to say, how old were you when you first went in prison?
16. 16. Yeah.
Young offender.
Yeah, Felton.
Oh, Felton, bloody hell. When I was growing up, I just Felton was the one that everyone just always just seemed to go to. Is that like the only young offenders in London or something?
Yeah, no, it's not in London, but it's the closest to London. It's the local one, but it's in. Like, I don't even know where it is.
It's like near Staines, Twickenham, and them bits there.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's somewhere.
So like you mentioned that you had like a long stint. Do you want to talk about what exactly happened? Because there's things I want to ask you about, like to do with your life now as a result of that. But for those that don't know, what was that? What did you go in for? And how long did you do?
So the charges were GBH wounding and firearm with intent, is which I got found guilty of, and it was for shooting a police officer in Leytonstone, 2006. So basically, I got 6 years IPP. You know what IPP is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a life license.
Explain it though. Explain it
Yeah,
for
so
people who really don't
so
know.
it's a life license. It's a 99 years license. It means you're in prison for public protection. So you won't be released until they don't think you're a risk anymore. You've got to lower your risk to the public before you can be released. So the license can go on for 99 years. But my tariff was 6. So I had to do 6 before I could be considered release. So I ended up doing 8 years. And I came out after 8 years, came out 2014. So yeah, basically what happened was I was getting more and more deeper into the streets. Do you know what I mean? Going through the cycle of in and out of jail, getting in gang-related activities, firearms, knives, all of that shit. And basically, I just got into a situation where.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I was committing offences, and and a few people that I was with, we got put on surveillance, which I wasn't aware of. And at the time I was on surveillance, like we bumped into some other guys that we didn't get along with at the time. And basically, I had a firearm with me. I fired it. Didn't know police were around. Got surrounded by the police. Obviously, I've run off. I've fired it at them. I've ended up hitting the police officer, which I wasn't aware of. I was more firing it to like scare them. Do you know what I mean? That's just so I can evade capture. Got away. Got arrested about 3 days later. That was it. It was all on the news. Do you know what I mean? Like I was in shock. Like, look what I've done. Like I'm not thinking. Like it's just got carried away. That's the way I see the situation. Like I didn't see it as, I was trying to impress anyone, or I was angry, or I just felt like I'd become this person. Do you know what I mean? Where once I've done something, like you do it before you even get to think about, what did I just do? Do you know what I'm saying? I was just so in that character. And that's basically what happened. Shot a police officer, and yeah.
And the one of the main things I wanted to know is, so you've done whatever you've done. You've been in jail. You come out now. Normally, when police have their eyes on people, it's just because they're annoying, whatever. But with you, was it a thing where they were literally out for you, or whenever you might get stopped or something, it might be just so hot because of what it was, and they look at it like, he's done something to one of our own, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's what I thought, innit? This is what everyone was saying while I was in prison, like, you know what I mean? It's on for you now. You ain't going to be able to breathe. You ain't going to be able to live life. So obviously I was panicking. I was getting anxiety. Like, is this what it's going to be like? But when I've come out, I wasn't actually banned from the area when I came out. But what I did was I moved to a different area. So I moved from East London to South London, my kids and that. And on the first 3 days of being out, but I was gradually let out. I went through decap procedure and that, so I'd been in and out a little bit. But yeah, on the first few days of actually being free, the police from the area that I lived in, they came to not East London police, the South London police. They came, like I didn't know who they were, they didn't know who me was, and they came and was like trying to get hold of me, knocking the door, asking my missus like, where is he? We want to speak to him and that. So once they've come one day when I was in, they basically wanted to introduce themselves, find out if I've got any active problems in South London or anything. And I was like, look, I'm not part of that life no more. Don't know what you're talking about, like South London, this is a fresh area. That was it. Like, and they left me alone. Like I just used to go probation and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? I never used to get pulled over. I wasn't hanging around on estates or doing nothing like that. I was just doing music. I got straight into that. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of felt like they forgot about me. Do you know what I'm saying? Until I had an incident what put me on the radar, and that was like that was about 2 years of my release. I got an incident, and that was like that was all over me like oh yeah, him. And the incident, like I was innocent, but they went for me like I was guilty. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's the first time I realized that, you know what, can't put a foot wrong because of what I've done in the past. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you literally got to shut your mouth and just aim straight. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that must be so hard though, man. Because at the end of the day, like man is man. You're a man. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes even if you know you're the most humble person, trouble will still find you. Do you get what I'm saying? So like, for you, what do you? What does that do for your head? Like, or are you just cool now? You're just good.
You know what, yeah, bro. Sometimes you just gotta accept it, like, because this is the way I try and look at things. That you know what I was doing a lot of wrong in it, and you see when you do a lot of wrong, yeah. Like no matter how much like you change, you gotta understand that life is just a balance. You got what I'm saying? So like sometimes it's gonna go wrong for you too. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you're doing wrong. So I just accept that, you know what, whatever I've done, whatever comes with it, I've got to take it too. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's it. That's how I balance it out. There's gonna be good days, there's gonna be bad days. Do you know what I'm saying? But I just got to keep going, keep growing and going forward. And that's how I kind of deal with it. Like, I don't feel like anyone's out to get me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that. But I know that I ain't gonna be dealt with lightly if.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And it's like I kind of like don't deserve to be on record. Do you get what I'm trying to say? That's how they put it. Like, cool, you did that, so you get that. And I understand that this is the game, man. That is harsh.
Yeah, no, I definitely hear that.